Dear Alex, we have one single friend left in our friend group, and we do not know what to do as the four of us plan our weddings and our futures with our new families. How can we help her? Welcome to the Dear Alex part of this channel, where we discuss some of your relationship questions, because let's face it, some of the best wins and worst betrayals are going to come from the people closest to you or the people around you. You may have already intuited this, but your relationships, they're actually part of your personal civil rights, and your freedom and your happiness can rise and fall depending on the health of them. Whether romantic or platonic, they affect the quality of your life. Now, this question, it was posed to a huge influencer, and there were a lot of people on the internet who heard the answer and they did not like it. I think it infuriated some listeners because things were split. This could either be about a friend that was meddling, or this could be about a friend who's just trying to help someone who's actually legitimately stuck. The answer to this could be helpful to you if you suspect that your friends are actually meddling with your single life, or if you're a legitimately good friend who is just trying to find your friend find a great partner. On the meddling friend's end, shocker, your friend might actually be really happy single. In this particular situation with this questioner, finding a man to date, it's not hard. What is hard is backing out of a situation that isn't up to snuff later, after you've gotten involved. You can say what you want about your friend you think that is too picky or their standards are too high. It's actually a lot easier to just have standards you never lower. Your friend being single now, that could be a sign of success. She hasn't been taken off the market by someone who's going to drag her down. She's open and available to someone who might actually meet her criteria. And she's keeping herself from rushing into anything. This can save a world of drama later. Another thing we have to consider is before we call giant influencers to talk about our single friends, did this friend ask for help? Is there any chance that this is about you and you need to see her settle down so you can feel better about your choices? Does your friend still having options trigger you into thinking about what you have chosen for yourself? It's one thing to see people we don't know marry or date people who are objectively seen as great and lovely, but it's another thing when someone we know proves something that yes, it was indeed possible for us. Sitting with that, minding our own business, it can give us a wealth of clarity. It can also help us understand if we are actually helping or not. So let's go into the helping part of this. If you are indeed someone who is happy and fine with your life, and this is not about you. When trying to plot with your friend to find a great partner for them, we have to remain encouraging and not pin our hopes onto one outcome. If we make one person the center of all our plotting, we are going to be disappointed. It's a lot harder to move on from something if you've built this entire story around one person. Secondly, you need to think about your friend's financial, educational, and social goals. Will this guy be supportive, helpful? Would her strengths be considered and celebrated by him? Would he see them as an asset or something to compete with? What makes your friend attractive to a lot of people is just that. It makes her attractive to a lot of people. Just because people might be interested in her doesn't mean they're good for her. Does this guy you're suggesting have a strong, developed sense of self that is not dependent on somebody else? Especially when we're talking about fabulous Black women, they're very educated. They have their stuff together. As a demographic, we are soaring. Your friend in this unfair, unjust political climate, they don't need a prom date. But they do need someone who can help them plot, especially when it comes to getting the healthcare that is often not given to women, finding safety and respect, the kind that is often legalized away or is not present in certain workplaces. Award-winning journalist Rebecca Traister wrote in her book, All the Single Ladies, which is about singlehood and American women, how we are now the product of these almost unprecedented advances. We have so much going for us. What did Susan Anthony predict? What did Rebecca Traister find? Well, there's a lot of mothers of sons and sons themselves who they're not prepared to actually date a woman who has all these things going for her. Adequately preparing themselves for this new modern reality, not a lot of people have done the work. Is this the type of match that could stand up to his insecure mom? Is this a guy whose manhood isn't attached to his bank account? Do you see competitiveness instead of care in his actions? All these are questions we have to ask in a modern age where women, more than ever, are bringing power to the date. Making sure your friend simply has a plus one or a child to play with your children at your weddings, not exactly top priority here. And that should be, honestly, the byproduct of a good relationship, not the point, not the goal. So with patience and much plotting, I hope that you can be a good and patient wing woman to your friend whenever she truly is ready. And if you have a relationship question, be it romantic, platonic, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll be sure to address it. And remember, as always, you and your personal civil rights matter.